Fall is one of my favorite times of year to be an Oregonian. The leaves are turning, the nights are shorter, and the cooler weather is with us. There is nothing better in the Willamette Valley than fresh, locally grown produce in the fall. There are farm stands like this all over the valley. The one farm that is most famous out of all the farms in the Willamette Valley is Detering Orchards. The Deterings have a long history in the Willamette Valley. The family came here in 1911, didn't start the farm until about the 30s, and Roger Detering passed away this last year, which brings some changes. But as you're going to see throughout this show tonight, which we're doing all from Detering Farms, the changes are going to be good, and it's going to continue to grow the operation. I met Roger Detering many years ago when I was a reporter at KVAL-TV. What I remember most is I did a package on him, and I called Roger Bob. John Doyle, my boss at the time, was not happy. I got called into his office and he yelled at me and said, "You do not call someone as famous as Roger Detering Bob." Roger never let me forget it. Roger passed away this last year, but what's going on at Detering Orchards not only shows what he was doing, but also shows what the family wants to continue to do with this place. Detering Orchards near Coburg is more than a farm. Detering Orchards is a way of life.
My great-grandparents, William and Julia, moved into the area back in 1911.
The Deterings want their way of life to become part of your life. In the 30s, the family grew row crops and rhubarb. Detering's grandfather, a 5-term state legislator in Oregon, had an idea to enhance the farm.
Somewhere in the 40s, he decided he was going to grow peaches. And most of the farmers around here kind of laughed at him.
But peaches caught on, and Detering's was famous for growing what no one else could grow in the Willamette Valley.
And at times, there would be rows of cars almost a mile out down the street back in the heavy canning days because people wanted to get peaches and there was nowhere else to get it.
Roger and Sharon Detering, Greg's parents, put apples and education into the farm mix.
And they start with the Gravensteins, go into the Cameo, the Matsu, the King. One of everybody's favorite is the Honeycrisp.
36 varieties, some on the trees until December, available for sale most of the year. Roger wanted school kids to touch and feel and experience the farm. He pushed the high season from summer into the fall. You pick or pick it out yourself at the historic farm stand. You get to choose. But everyone walks away with the best produce in the valley and a better understanding of life on the farm.
He had strong focus on education, really had a heart to educate the young people to understand nature and farming, where our food comes from. So he started doing a lot of field trips out here.
Field trips are still a regular part of the experience at Detering Orchards. Pumpkins and apples, row crops, corn so crisp the sound whispers as it's shucked. At Detering Orchards, change is part of history, and more is coming. The next generation of Deterings is moving into agro-recreation.
He moved the farm into a whole another season. We'd actually like to move it into a full year-round kind of operation.
Detering Orchards will still have all the fresh produce you count on, but enhanced with more activities and more ways to keep you entertained on the farm.
Cider. We make cider out of every kind of apple.
At Detering Orchards, you get to be a part of the farm experience.
It's all fresh. It's fresh, natural, there's nothing added to it. It's just literally just apples squeezed.
I think my dad would be pretty surprised at what we're doing, but he would be happy about it. He would be happy that the next generation's bringing some other new ideas into the operation and enhancing it to carry this on. That's the thing he'd be happiest about, just to see that his life's work is being carried on into the next generations.
At Detering Orchards, you experience life in the country, life on the farm, and food gathering the way it's been done for generations. Detering Orchards is not going away. Detering Orchards is here to stay. So this is Cindy Dixon. She's the person who's here who knows everything about produce, and if you want to know which apple's the best eating or pie apple, you know. So pie. I want my pie tart.
Well, if you want it tart.
You know tart.
Yeah, if you want it tart, go with Granny Smith. Okay. But right now, Granny Smith is still in the tree. So next best thing to Granny Smith would be a mutsu. And the mutsu, see the size of that apple? That way you don't have to core as much. But this is a great apple. But all of them make a good pie. It's just depending on how much sugar you want to put in the pie.
Okay, so I wouldn't have to put as much with that.
You would put a little bit more with this one, but not as much as a Granny Smith.
To eat, just to snack on.
I would choose, one of them would be the John of Gold. I have to say I'm a little embarrassed with the size of our apples this year. You know, they're a little bit on the small size, but these are called family size. But John of Gold is very sweet, very crisp, ready to eat. The Spartan, fabulous apple. It's a little bit smaller, so the kids like it. The school district buy these from us. These are the Empires. They buy them for the children. They're called, see the size of that?
Yeah.
They eat the whole apple. None left over. Ozark Gold, excellent for pies. Fuji, who doesn't like Fuji? These are the early Fuji, and we have a late Fuji as well. These are extremely sweet.
You are the apple queen.
I am.
Thanks for letting us come out here and play today.
Thanks for coming.
Okay, Brooke, thanks for inviting us out here today. So tell people when you guys are open so they know when to come out.
We're open every single day, Monday through Saturday, 8 to 6, and UPIC closes at 5, and then on Sundays we're open until 5, and UPIC closes at 4.
And through December?
Through December, and then probably into January, February, maybe even March, depending on how long we have apples.
Okay, do you think you and I can go get an apple? I want the best one, okay?
I'm gonna give you a mutsu.
Okay, let's go to it.